This episode is brought to you by Ariston Specialties in Bloomfield, Connecticut, makers of amazing olive oils and other Greek delights. Check them out online at aristonspecialties.com. That's Ariston, Ariston, specialties.com. Welcome to faithmiddleton.com, our all-new Food Schmooze Party podcast site. And today, anything goes. What we mean by that is that none of us knows what the other one is going to say. You know, so I'll be calling on people, and I'll be as surprised as you will be, and we'll just riff on that subject for a while. So I ask you as you're listening, wherever you are, to do the same thing. You know, what's on your mind about food, wine, or cocktails? Let's start with Chris Prosperi, chef and co-owner of Metro Beast in Simsbury, Connecticut. What's on your mind, buddy?
Oh, so much. All right, so it's getting a little warmer, and you know me, and I love sandwiches. So I've been working on a new sandwich. I am a big fan of the fried chicken sandwich. Right?
Me
Has
too.
anyone had one? I don't care where you get it from.
Popeyes.
Yep, sure. Wherever. But I wanted to do a riff on it and do something a little different. So I actually got a couple heads of cauliflower. And instead of breaking it up into little like florets like you usually do, I sliced it into about, let's say, maybe 3/4 of an inch slice.
Like a steak.
Yes.
Yeah, like a steak, but then I cut it again in half, so it's like the size of a chicken breast. Then put it in the buttermilk, put it in my seasoned flour, just like I do my fried chicken sandwiches. Back in the buttermilk, so I do it twice. Then I fry it, put it on a brioche roll, and then I make a very thinly sliced coleslaw with a vinegar dressing. Right? Like North Carolina style.
Yeah.
And that goes on to the sandwich. If you like mayo, I'm not a big mayo fan, a big thing of mayo on it. And then a little bit of spice like a sriracha or a Tabasco. And I'm telling you, you cannot, as you're eating this, it is hard to tell you are not eating a chicken sandwich.
Oh,
wow.
Boy, that sounds good.
That's super cool.
I'm trying it for sure.
That's cool.
That is so good.
Yes.
I'm not a hater of fried chicken, but I wanted to see if there was a different way of doing it. And man, that cauliflower came out because I love fried cauliflower.
I love cauliflower too.
I just, you know, we do it. We've done it at the restaurant for years with a little, like Asian Indian inspired sauce.
Turmeric.
Yeah. You know, and then we fry it. And then just like when it comes out of the fryer, we toss it in that sauce and put it. Oh, it's so good.
Chris, I remember when you guys were doing the cauliflower waffles.
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah.
That's
So again,
awesome.
cauliflower. Remember when everyone hated cauliflower? I
Yeah.
think cauliflower might have taken Brussels sprout off the map, right?
Wow.
I mean,
I
Brussels
don't know.
sprout's
That's a
still
pretty hard
popular.
statement.
I don't know. We had both on the menu this winter, and towards the end, as we hit like the beginning of like not maybe the end of winter, beginning of spring, cauliflower took over from Brussels sprout.
So let me ask you a question,
Sure.
Chris, or any of you. I love cauliflower, let's say pieces or steak, with anchovy sauce.
Oh,
So
love it.
how would do I have to do anything to make the sauce, or do I just melt the anchovies and put them on the roll with
Anchovy butter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Anchovy butter. Just melt the anchovies into the butter.
With a little shallots and maybe some
Some
garlic
garlic.
in that pan with some extra virgin olive oil.
That's
right.
see?
And then
Bomb.
just mix that off.
This is how recipes get made, right here.
Yeah.
You're witnessing.
Right? So take that olive oil. So double or triple the amount of olive oil you have in the pan, shallots, garlic, a little, you know, your anchovies, get it all cooked together. Then take it off the stove, let it cool down, and make a mayonnaise with it. Which is just take an egg yolk, you know, you can coddle it or not or whatever, a little lemon juice, and then whip that olive oil, anchovy, garlic, shallot mixture into the mayonnaise and then spread that
That
on
sounds
it.
so
That's a aioli and a half right
Yeah,
there.
that's an aioli and a half.
And now, Chris, if you didn't want to make the effort to do, you know, make your own mayonnaise, could you
Totally
just,
bring that. Yep.
just
Right into
take a little tablespoon and mix
the
it into
Hellmann's.
there.
Yep. We
Yeah.
do that a lot too sometimes. Because the prepared mayonnaise is a lot safer, so when we're working in the kitchen, like at home, I make my own.
Right.
And I can do homemade mayonnaise. I just don't like the prepared stuff, but the prepared stuff is a lot safer and it's hard to break that. You can cook that stuff. So you can take
stabilizers in it.
Right? Take your Hellmann's, right? And mix your anchovy mixture in it. And then take your cauliflower, let's say we roasted a steak. And then take it out of the oven, smear the mayonnaise on top, and then put it under the broiler.
Baby. Smear it.
Put it under the broiler and kind of let it get all bubbly.
Can I fry it? Can I just fry it? Never mind in the broiler, in the oven, and all that business.
You could totally fry it. But I'm just saying, if you put the mayonnaise on it and then with a little Parmesan cheese on top and broil it, you'll get like a Parmesan aioli kind of crust on top.
And if you want a butter instead of a mayo, you can just take some soft butter and roll it all up together in some wax paper or some parchment. Put it in the fridge, and then you can cut it into discs and put it on a piece of steak or something.
Yes.
We don't do that as much. Remember hotel butter that used to come on your steak?
I used to do that.
With parsley and garlic or whatever
still do that.
flavor
Shallots,
du jour was.
Yeah, I do it.
Oh, yeah.
So
do you do it?
I noticed something. Do you know that Oreos has come out with a new flavor, and it's called blackout cake? Now, I don't know. I tried to go find it today, and I couldn't find it anyplace. So I don't know if it's being stocked for the stores yet.
Blackout cake
Oreos. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. Is it called blackout because that's the result of eating these things? You fall down and black out.
I would never say such a thing. All right. Who's got something on their mind about food, wine, or cocktails?
I've got one.
Okay, Mark. This is Mark Raymond, who lives in Old Weathersfield and is our food, wine, and cocktail guy. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So this warm weather for me is one of my favorite treats, and this is a treat. Is soft shell crabs.
Oh man,
me too.
Just starting to come
into season now.
Yep.
Matter of fact, a friend of mine that gets a Native Eats. He's down in Stonington. He brings them up. And, so I ordered some for this week. And, for me, I'm happy with just, lightly dusting them, frying them in a pan, and then putting them on a nice piece of bread with a simple aioli or, just by itself. You don't even need anything else.
No.
A little lemon.
Yep.
But one of the things I love to do, just kind of spice it up over the weekend, is I'll get some fresh asparagus. I'll get some roasted red peppers and maybe some of that leftover corn that I have in the freezer. And I'll make a nice little risotto and put it right on top of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
When are you inviting us over?
I know. I just love soft shell crab.
Another way to do soft shell crab is to just throw them in the pan, dust them and all that, and throw them in the pan with lots of butter and almonds.
Ooh, like an almondine.
Like an almondine. And
nice.
then, you just serve them that way. And it's great with almonds.
Love it.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
I remember the first time I had a soft shell crab sandwich. I was at my first wife's father's place down in New Jersey. I had never had them before. And I said, what, you just bite into it? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, are you kidding? Like the head and the face and everything? He said, no, you cut the face off. Yep. I'm like, so he convinced me. And I took one bite and this goo went all over my shirt. And
some people say that's the best part.
Was that supposed to happen?
Yep.
Did you like the taste?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know it. Oh, I know.
But it was just, par for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. What can happen?
Okay. All right. Joanne Church in New London. Hey. So what are you thinking about? Food, wine, and cocktails.
This is what I'm thinking about so Thursday night is poker night, ladies poker at our house. And we usually take turns bringing food. But this week we decided we're all going to bring apps. So there's 6 of us. So it's like, I always do the pigs in a blanket, and I was going to the store to buy them. And I walked by crescent rolls that were on sale. And it's like, you know what? I know I have chicken sausage in the freezer. I know I have chicken hot dogs in the freezer. So I'm going to make chicks in a blanket.
Nice.
Oh.
So I bought the crescent rolls, and then I still have this puff pastry that's plant-based in my freezer because a vegan friend was coming over and never worked out. So I'm about to make those when we're done with the show. So all I was thinking about was appetizers, like, what's going to make everyone happy. Everyone loves the chicks in a blanket, a side of ketchup, a side of mustard.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
And you know what? We do it for still past hors d'oeuvres. Every once in a while, someone will choose that from our list. And the people that are always like it with you when you're meeting with them, they're like, oh, no, that's so old school. No one eats those anymore. I'm telling you, nothing flies off a platter being passed around faster. We cannot
What, are you talking about pigs in a blanket?
Or chicks in a blanket, either one. A lot of people say it's just old and no one likes it anymore, but I'm telling you, we make 4-1 on all the other hors d'oeuvres when that one's on, because we know when that one's being passed around, nobody wants anything else but those.
Yeah.
Chris, when I was married about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And we had kind of a fancy wedding at Le Cirque in New York.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Wow.
Because, there was a connection, and so we were able to do it in an affordable way. And one of the first things we said we wanted to Cyril Macchione, the owner, we said, we really want pigs in a blanket. And, and he looked at us like,
wow.
What?
And what did he say? Of course.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what is he going to say? He said, yeah, we can do that. Yep.
Nice.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back before you can even blink. And so stay right where you are, because we're going to find out what some of our guests are going to come up with, some of our regulars here. So don't go away. We're at faithmiddleton.com. This is the new Food Schmooze Party podcast site. And I am with Chris Prosperi, Mark Raymond, and Joanne Church, and Carl Franklin, who hasn't gone yet, and he's always got something interesting to say. So, Carl, what are you thinking about food, wine, and cocktails lately?
So it was funny when Chris said, I'm thinking about a fried chicken sandwich, and I cringed a little because my thing is fried chicken, but not cauliflower, of course, real fried chicken. But so I'm going to give you a recipe for a Ketoki fried chicken. Ketoki. So this is a keto fried chicken. But the most important thing that I figured out in making this recipe was the spice mix. And the spice mix you can use for any fried chicken. Doesn't have to be keto, whatever. So the spice mix is, and I'll link to the recipe, but it's, is there 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And salt. So 11 herbs and spices. All right, Here we go.
That's like the secret, right? The secret recipe.
Yeah.
It only costs $500.
Yeah, no, I gleaned this from several places online and tested them out, and this was the magic formula. So it's paprika, onion powder, chili powder, white pepper, which is the most key ingredient here, celery salt, dried sage, garlic powder, ground allspice, dried oregano, dried basil, and dried marjoram. So
how long did it take you to figure this out?
Or how many batches?
How many batches? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I sort of deduced a couple of them that, if they're let's say I had 5 and I can't remember, but if 3 out of the 5 had an ingredient that the other 2 didn't have and the ratings were higher, that basically gave me a head start. And then I took that and I just tweaked it a little bit.
So what do? You just mix all those together and...
Yeah, that's the spice mix. Yeah.
Wow.
You cook it in a fry pan, or do you cook it under the broiler?
I have a deep fryer, and so I use it. It's just a tabletop deep fryer.
Yeah, I got one of those. I love it. And the air fryer works too, right? Have you gotten one of those yet? I'm telling you, I did fried... I haven't done the cauliflower yet, but I did fried chicken at home in the air fryer. And I was apprehensive, is this really going to work? Came out perfect.
My wife told me if I bought an air fryer, I'd have to let go of some other tool. So.
Because your kitchen's full.
Know.
Yep. And what can't
I know.
Can't decide which one's got to go?
She's half kidding, but she's like, you have too many kitchen gadgets.
Is that possible?
However, she loves fried chicken.
Yeah.
So I also tried it in 3 different fats. I tried peanut oil, I tried beef tallow, and I tried lard. And I had a couple of people over and we tried it in all the different fats. Turns out beef tallow won hands down.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought lard was going to win.
Lard was too porky, and I'll tell you why. Because the breading is my keto breading, which is pork rinds and jack cheese.
Oh, so it's pork and pork.
Yeah, it's pork on pork on pork. Yeah. So, if you're going to make regular fried chicken with the egg wash and the breadcrumbs and the flour, and I would season the flour, that's where the seasoning goes.
Yeah.
Then you could probably use lard, if you want to. I mean, you can use whatever you want.
But
really.
you know what? Beef was the one thing we fried in the 50s, all the way through up until the 70s.
That's right.
We were frying our fries and beef. I remember my first job, we were still using it, taking that big bulk, 35-pound block of beef fat and melting it. It was solid, so you had to melt it in the fry later.
And it turns out that tallow is one of the healthiest fats to cook with.
Oh, wow.
And
or so
you might
they say.
think that's weird, but the worst kinds of fats or oils to cook with are the processed vegetable oils. Yes. Not just the trans fats, because even like canola oil and corn oil and stuff, just really bad.
Yep. Canola is, I can't touch it.
Yeah.
It's just so volatile.
Yeah. I love peanut oil, but you can't use it because so many people have the allergy.
That's true, yeah. And peanut oil does fry really, really well.
Great for frying.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I won't tell you the whole recipe, but that's basically the secret sauce.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds really good.
Did I mention to you guys I made the Cheetos chicken the other day?
Cheetos chicken.
So
it's like potato chip chicken.
My son and I some time back we took Cheetos and Flaming Hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
And we used them as the breadcrumbs to fry chicken.
It's good, isn't it?
It's really, really good. But so my aunt, who's in her 70s, lives over down the street from us in Wethersfield, and she loves Cheetos. And I struggle with her, her diet and what she eats, because she always eats like the same thing all the time. So I happened to be over one day and she was mentioning how much she loved Cheetos. And I said, well, have you ever had Cheetos chicken? And she's like, what are you talking about? Cheetos chicken? I said, Cheetos you chicken. Take Cheetos and you crush them up and you use them as a breading to make fried chicken. And she said, oh my God, that sounds amazing. I said, you want me to make it? She said, yeah, yes, I'll try it.
Do your hands get orange?
Yeah, your hands get orange for sure. But it comes out so good. She loved it. She absolutely loved it. I got her to try something new. I was so excited.
Yeah. And who doesn't love Cheetos?
I got a tin of this cheese powder that it looks like the stuff that comes in a packet of macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
And it's nacho flavored. And what I do is I take pork rinds, because I can't eat carbs, right? And I put them in a bag with this stuff and shake it up. And then I'm eating pork rind Cheetos.
No,
I love it. You can buy small containers of that powder that you're talking about in the supermarkets where they sell popcorn. It's a flavoring that movie theaters use to sprinkle.
For that. That's my next trip to the store.
And you can also just buy boxes of mac and cheese, 5 for $1, and use the packets.
Takes the cheese mix out.
Yeah, very healthy. Very healthy.
It's very healthy.
When I was doing research for our show, I noticed that there are certain things that have come back in popularity. Cool. And one of them is, does anybody remember that? I guess you have to be of a certain age. I don't know. But it's the Harvey Wallbanger.
Yeah. What's
come back? And I was thinking, as you were all going through all your recipes, I was thinking, I could have a Harvey Wallbanger with that. Yep, I could have another one with that.
What's in a Harvey Wallbanger? I don't even know. I have to look that up.
It's like a screwdriver.
Oh, okay,
except
gotcha.
it has a little bit of Gallianos, on the top.
Yeah,
but it's basically a screwdriver.
And when is it from? Is it from like the 70s, or when was it popular
50s.
last?
I don't know.
I want to say the 70s.
Yeah.
I want to say it was the 70s drink. I remember it quite a bit.
Remember, it was so exciting when that came out, and everyone said, I'll have a Harvey Wallbanger, please.
Who is Harvey Wallbanger anyway?
Faith. Faith. I was at a bar last night. I know, hard to believe, but I was at a bar last night on the Cape.
And
we quass it. Yeah, it's the resort.
I know this place really well. I go there all the time.
It's in East Harwich, yeah.
Yeah.
So the bartender made a grasshopper.
Wow.
I have
Another one I haven't
seen a grasshopper in forever.
That's 70s.
Is that with creme de menthe?
Creme de menthe, creme de cocoa.
Yes.
Oof.
And it was delicious. I said, I just want to taste it. I don't want to order one. And it was beautiful green. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be careful with a drink like that, though, don't you think? Or you end up face down on the bathroom floor.
That's right. It's usually the sweet ones that sneak up on you. Yeah. Hey, should we talk about our pastrami party?
Yes. Let's make everyone jealous.
Yeah. So we've been trying, haven't we, guys? Ever since we started this show, we've been trying to find a date where we could all meet and have a party and hang out and cook and eat and drink and all that stuff. And, because of COVID and traveling and this and that, we never have been able to get it together. But now we're doing it on Sunday, April 2nd. And I decided to make a pastrami inspired by Katz's Deli in New York City.
That sounds amazing.
Yummy.
Now I know Chris is not the Katz's guy. He's the other deli guy. What is that deli? Carnegie's. Yeah. I know. Whatever. I don't even know. But if you're either in a Katz's, I'm sure they're both great. So I've brined a brisket for 7.5 days.
Nice.
And I rinsed it, and then I basically wrapped it and froze it because I don't want it to,
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take it out, and actually I'm going to use the sous vide method to cook it.
Okay.
And I'm going to cook it for 24 hours in a sous vide under vacuum, right?
Yep.
And then, and only then, is it going to come out. I'm going to coat it with the peppercorns and the coriander, and I'm going to smoke it.
Give it a smoke. Nice.
And it's going to be ready just when you guys are showing up. So
I love it.
Somebody's bringing rye bread, right?
I got the rye.
All right.
Hartford Baking Company already put the order in.
I'll bring wine.
And Mark's bringing wine too, and everybody's bringing wine.
Yep.
And we'll have some sauerkraut. Chris, are you bringing sauerkraut?
I can bring sauerkraut if you like.
Because you make it, right?
I do make sauerkraut.
Yeah. And I will have some bread for you, Faith, that is going to be caraway bread. So it's like a faux rye.
Gluten-free.
And it's completely gluten-free and
very
good.
Cool. Where do you get
I'll
that?
have some of that.
I make it.
Cool. He made it.
Wow. Very cool.
I make it from a mix at Foxhill Kitchens.
Nice. Oh, I can't wait to try
Very
that.
cool.
Yeah. So we are going to take some video, and we might even do, who knows what we'll do, but we'll
do a show before we start drinking the wine, maybe, huh?
Maybe.
Song and
We can
dance.
record a
It could
quick
be
show,
song
right?
And
And
dance
talk
thing.
about the pastrami.
Yeah. But I think more importantly, we'll have some video footage of us, and maybe we'll put together a montage, and there you go.
Very cool. Can't wait.
All right.
I can't wait.
Cannot wait.
Woohoo.
Okay, everybody. Great to see you and be with you as always. And that includes you listening from wherever you are. This is the all-new Food Schmooze Party podcast at faithmiddleton.com, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Waiting for the summer to come.